If your puppy feels like a full-time job right now, you are not imagining it. Puppies are a lot of work. One minute they're adorable, and the next minute they're biting your ankles, or having accidents, and refusing naps, and acting as if they've never heard their name before. Most puppy owners think, when will this get easier? And do I just need to train better? But wait, what if the problem isn't your training at all? What if the thing you're missing is the right system? So here's the truth. Training's only gonna take you so far. If you don't have the right systems or structure in place, it's gonna feel like you're never getting ahead. Today, I'm gonna walk you through the 5 systems every new puppy owner needs to make training easier and faster and way less frustrating. I'm Michelle, your Fear-Free certified trainer, and I've helped thousands of new puppy owners just like you. So I know that with a few quick changes, we can help you feel confident and less stressed about raising and training your puppy too. In between teaching things like sit and stay and come, you're probably dealing with the most frustrating behaviors like biting, accidents, crying in the crate, and jumping. What happens in between those training sessions will help curb these unwanted behaviors and frustrations. So let's start with the first system. System number 1, the containment system. This is your first and very important system because if your puppy has too much freedom too soon, you're gonna have a lot more accidents, more chewing, and more chaos. So your containment system includes a crate, a playpen for indoors and one for outdoors, baby gates, and a designated puppy zone in your home. Think of this as your puppy's safe learning and resting space. This is gonna be the space that they can't make big mistakes or where you won't have to say no constantly. Supervision 24/7 isn't realistic, but structured freedom is. Typically, we start with the crate in a central location in the home, such as in the kitchen or the dining room. Now, we want it to be in a place that won't be too overstimulating for your puppy or keep them from getting the rest they need during nap times. However, some puppies struggle with the overstimulation that those environments provide, so you may find that the crate starts in your bedroom, close to you when you're sleeping. The goal is to move it out of your bedroom sooner rather than later because we do not want your puppy to become dependent on your presence in order to fall asleep or feel safe in their crate. Now, the next tool for this system includes the indoor puppy pen. It's going to be a great place to allow your puppy to play with their toys when you can't keep both eyes on them, but limits their space so that they're not running all over getting into things they're not supposed to. Now, the outdoor puppy pen is going to be ideal for puppies that struggle to go potty because they get easily distracted by every leaf, stick, or bug that flies by. If you're not able to set up an indoor puppy pen, maybe you just need to use some baby gates in order to block off access to those certain rooms in your home. I'll link all the recommended products in the description below this video. Now, when you have the right containment system in place, you're going to see a decrease in accidents and an increase in appropriate rest and relaxation. This leads me to the next system. System number 2, the sleep system. I would say that this is the number 1 overlooked component of an ideal puppy's schedule. Most people don't realize just how much sleep a puppy needs. For example, an 8 to 10-week-old puppy needs 18 to 20 hours of sleep in a 24-hour period. Their wake window is only about 45 to maybe 90 minutes long. So whenever anyone tells me about their puppy's unwanted behaviors, such as biting, barking, jumping, and destructive chewing, the first question I asked them is, tell me about your puppy's schedule. Inevitably, the overarching theme is an overtired, overstimulated puppy who's not getting enough sleep. And most people don't realize just how many naps and how much sleep a puppy truly needs. So if you want to find out just how much sleep your puppy needs based on their age or how long their wake windows should be, comment planner, and I'll share my free resource with you, the Puppy Schedule Planner, with the recommended guidelines. Puppies do need a lot of sleep. Have I said that yet? If they don't get it, their behavior starts to fall apart. So your sleep system includes where the naps will happen, the ideal puppy schedule, and the cool down routine that you need to follow before your puppy goes down for a nap. Let me explain. Approximately 15 to 20 minutes before your puppy's due for a nap, you're gonna dim the lights or close the blinds. We wanna move them into their puppy pen with a calming activity, such as licking a lick mat or chewing a yak chew. These are the types of activities that promote rest and relaxation. You're gonna limit the stimulating activities that are gonna rile your puppy up. I also recommend spraying the Adaptil Thunder Ease spray in and around the crate about 15 minutes before they're due to go in there. Now, this spray contains a scent similar to the pheromone the mama dog gives off to calm her pups. When the 15 minutes are up, you're gonna take them out for a potty break, make it a boring trip outside and back inside. Limit talking and no play. You're gonna come back in and gently place them in their crate for a nap. Now, you can comment cool down if you want to watch a more detailed video on this topic. And just as a side note, because you might be wondering why I say all naps and sleep should happen in the crate. By letting them sleep outside of the crate, you lose the opportunity to teach them that the crate is a safe place to rest. It then becomes harder to put them in the crate when you have to leave or put them down for bedtime. Many people also ask, well, why can't I let them fall asleep on my lap? Eventually, we can allow that. But in the beginning, we want to create good habits and routines. And your puppy is most impressionable when they're the youngest. So we want to use that to our advantage. The more they fall asleep outside of the crate, the harder crate training will become. This is also why location matters when it comes to where your puppy sleeps. I mentioned earlier the importance of following an age-appropriate schedule too. This is going to allow your puppy to get the right amount of sleep and decrease those unwanted behaviors. But a critical part of getting your puppy to be able to rest and sleep is what they do right before that nap time. So we want to build in that cool down routine to make the transition into rest and sleep easier. Also, a moment ago, I mentioned taking your puppy out to potty before you put them down for a nap. Maybe you're struggling with your pup's potty training. This is going to lead me to the next system. System number 3, the potty system. Also, if you're not having any trouble here, definitely stay tuned, because I guarantee the next system that I'm going to talk about after this one, you do not have in place just yet. Almost no one does. So stay tuned. All right, the potty system. In the last video in the playlist, we talked about the 4 components of potty training. We even came up with a little jingle to help you remember it. Reward, restrict, clean, and routine. When you take your puppy out to the potty area, you'll reward them on the spot, not when you come back inside. That's a common mistake. By rewarding them outside, you're signaling to them that that's where you like them to go potty. It's not uncommon to take your puppy out every 20 to 30 minutes when they're really young. Eventually, you're gonna space out the potty trips as your puppy grows and matures. The goal is to get ahead of those indoor accidents. And just for reference, my adult dogs, they only go out maybe 3 to 4 times a day. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel for all of you who are totally over taking your puppy out 100 times a day, or so it feels like. It's important that you teach them where you want them to go. They'll only go where they have access to. And if your puppy has an accident inside, we're gonna just chalk it up to exactly what it is. An accident. Never scold or reprimand your puppy for going to the bathroom. Even though it's frustrating when you have to clean up an accident, scolding them does not teach them where you want them to go. Instead, you break down the trust in your relationship. And in this case, it causes them to want to sneak off and go find a place to go potty. Ideally, we want to teach them to signal to us when they have to go, so we can get them outside ahead of an accident. A really cool way to accomplish this is by teaching them to use a set of potty bells. By giving them a way to communicate with you, you're going to know exactly when they need to go potty outside. This 3-step lesson is included in our robust online puppy training program. So if you'd like to learn more about it, comment puppy, and I'm going to share the link with you. Now, if you have system 1 in place, remember that was the containment system, then you're going to have the next part of the jingle down, which is restrict. Basically, this means you're just limiting your puppy's space in your home. More space equals more opportunity for accidents, because the more your puppy moves, the more they have to go potty. And then the next part of the jingle is clean, which means using that enzymatic cleaner such as the Nature's Miracle to clean up any indoor accidents. The goal is to break down the ammonia which is in your dog's urine and neutralize it so they no longer smell themselves in that spot. And the next part of the potty system is routine. And really, this just means stay consistent with taking them out on a regular schedule. Write down in your puppy journal what happened and when, and don't forget to include any times that there was an accident inside. You're gonna start to see how frequently your puppy needs to go outside, and then what time of day you'll be taking them out for pee breaks versus poo breaks. All right, the next system I want to talk about is one that gets easily overlooked. Almost no one does this. I don't want that to be you. System number 4, the handling system. Puppies don't automatically feel comfortable being picked up, brushed, or having their nails trimmed. But as humans, we tend to just do these things without thinking about how the puppy feels. This can lead to a puppy who nips when hands come toward them, or runs away when you try to put the leash and collar on. The goal is to teach your puppy that handling is safe, and the tools, they're not scary. This includes things like nail clippers, brushes, dryers, collars, harnesses, and even things like vet tools or recovery cones. So a big mistake people make is taking the get her done approach, where they rush through it because they feel in control. That often creates fear rather than cooperation. Instead, we break things down into what we call micro steps. Let's take brushing as an example. Before I ever touch my dog with the brush, I just create a positive association with it. I show the brush, I immediately give treats. Then the brush and the treats go away, and then we repeat this a few times. The next session, I might bring the brush out again, reward, and maybe move it closer without touching. Then eventually, I might lightly touch the dog with the brush. Not brushing the dog, just touching. From there, we build up slowly to 1 or 2 strokes, and eventually brushing the whole dog. The key here is going slow enough that your dog stays comfortable and even starts to lean in instead of pull away. The training usually takes a few days to work through when it comes to creating those micro steps. It's not done in one day. When you do this right, your puppy learns, hey, handling feels good. These tools are nothing to worry about, and that makes everything easier down the road. Remember, they don't care if they look beautiful or are free of mats and snarls. You're the only one that cares about this, so it's important to get them on board so things like this don't become a lifelong challenge. Speaking of things that you care about, I can imagine that you're wondering when you can get back to your regular routines. Things like going to the gym, going out to dinner with friends, all without having to worry about how your dog is going to handle your absence. This leads me to the next system. System number 5, the alone time system. This one's huge because separation issues don't usually start overnight. They happen when you leave your puppy alone before they're ready repeatedly. Their anxiety surrounding your departure just gets worse and worse. Your alone time system is how you prevent separation distress from turning into full-blown separation anxiety. A little distress is normal during the training process, but we don't want it to escalate to panic. And in the next video, I answer the most common questions. How can I tell when it's okay to leave my puppy home alone for longer periods of time? And how do I go about it so separation anxiety doesn't set in? Tune in to find out how to go about leaving your puppy home alone so you can get back to day-to-day activities with friends and family without feeling like you have to rush home to take care of your puppy. See you in the next video.